Welcome to ECE 376. Now, in the last lecture, we looked at soldering your circuit board. You should have received a lab kit, or have a lab kit for the course. When you solder up the circuit board, as we talked about in our last lecture, you should wind up with something like this. So here's your soldered board. This is the LCD display going on top. Underneath is your PIC chip. This is the FTDI plugged into your computer. What I'm going to look at now is how do you download code and test your board out. Now, if you check out your thumb drive that came with the kit, your thumb drive should have something like this. These are the files on the thumb drive. MPLAB is how you install the programmer, the assembler C compiler for this chip. We'll talk about that in our next lecture. This is the C compiler. Install MPLAB, then run the C compiler. You get a C compiler. PIC flash tool, that's how you download code to your board. LCD demo.hex may or may not be on your thumb drive, depends upon which version you got. And README text. Now, if you don't have an LCD demo.hex, you need to create it. So do a new text document. Let's call it demo.hex. Now, I should see an extension like this. If you don't see the .hex.text, go to View, Show, File Extension. I want to see that extension. So I'm going to rename that. Show more options, rename, get rid of that .text. Program files look like this. To get the actual program to download, go to Bison Academy under LCD Demo. Just do copy, edit, open with Notepad. So here's your Notepad. I lost it. Paste. So just copy and paste it. This is what a program looks like for a PIC microcontroller. That's a program. This is a machine code. One of the reasons we use C is C is a whole lot easier to understand the machine code. But anyway, save that puppy. Now, if you run the PIC flash tool, this is how we download code to your PIC board. If you have nothing plugged in, what shows up over here are all your serial ports. My computer doesn't have any. If I connect up your PIC board and hit refresh, there's the FTDI. That's the serial COM port. I'll connect to that. I'll then select the file I want to upload. This is the demo.hex. Hit reset. When you hit reset, that's the lower left button here on your board. I get this 321 message, and I should be able to program. When I program, you see the lights flashing. That's your code downloading. Go to still downloading, see the light flashing. Once it's done downloading, it flashes all the LEDs, so you can make sure your LEDs are working, and sends a message. And if your LCD display is blank, it's probably the contrast. That's this knob right here. As I turn it, this changes the contrast. Turn it until you can see a message. Yeah, 2-bar, I see black dots. I get it just right, I can see a message on the display. If you have that message and it's counting and all your lights blink, you got a working board. In terms of other programs to download, we'll be talking about that throughout the semester. So here are sample assembler programs, sample C programs. Kind of one note for all these codes. These are actually a text file. The reason I save everything as a text file is a lot of web browsers do not let you look at anything other than a .txt file. If I call it .asm.c, .hex, it'll block you. So this is actually an assembly program that will run later on. here's a C program that we'll be looking at. You can open these up, copy into MPLAB, give them the right extension, then you can run them. But we'll talk about that in the next lecture. So at this point, you should have a working PCB with code that you can download.